What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to show you the Tokyo rig. Tokyo rigs. This is a really cool one. I'm really excited to show you guys this. This is new. It's newer to me. It's newer to the fishing industry. So if you guys have never seen one of these before, you're in for a treat. It's very cool. We're gonna show you how to rig one today, a few tips on where and when to fish it. Let's pull one of these bad boys out of the package and get right to it. All right, so we got the Tokyo rig out of the box. And as you guys can look right here, the Tokyo rig is pretty much made up of a swivel, a piece of wire, and a hook. Now I want you guys to know before we get into this that you can get a Tokyo rig with many different hook styles. The one that I have here in front of me today is an EWG hook, but you guys can get them with a straight shank, you can get it with an EWG, you can get a flipping hook, the list goes on. So they do offer the Tokyo rig in many different hook styles. So if you've never seen this rig before, just to give you a quick understanding on how it works, it's essentially a way to rig a soft plastic so that it hovers just above the bottom, or so that it's weighted and it's separating the weight from the physical bait. So to rig up a Tokyo rig, you guys are gonna need a bullet weight, a soft plastic, the Tokyo rig itself, and a pair of pliers. So the first thing that we're gonna do is going to be attaching our weight. Now here I have a bullet weight. The weight that you use is gonna be personal preference. You can use other weights. You don't have to use a bullet weight, but I like to use a bullet weight simply because in my terminal tackle, I have many different size options. So just keep that in mind because you're actually able to swap out your weight with your Tokyo rig, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna thread on the bullet weight to that wire. Now, I like to put my bullet weight on backwards so that the pointy side is headed straight down. So as you guys can see here, that is on the wire. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pliers and we're gonna bend the end of the wire almost into a loop. So as you guys can see right there, we bent a loop and that weight is snug on there. So now that our weight is attached, we're gonna put on our soft plastic. Because I have an EWG or a Texas rig hook on this setup, I'm gonna go ahead and Texas rig my bait. So as you guys can see right here, beneath the wire, I have my bullet weight. Above, I have where we're gonna be attaching our line. And then you have your hook and bait free floating over here. This is what a Tokyo rig looks like. This is how it's fished. So now let's talk a little bit about fishing it. You can fish a Tokyo rig in just about every scenario that you guys will fish a Texas rig or like a bass jig. But the benefit that the Tokyo rig plays out is you have a bait that freely sits on a swivel. So as you guys can see here, I have a 360-degree action on my bait. Now I know I'm just twirling this around, but when it comes to fishing or getting more action out of your bait, having that bait be able to be free on here is really going to allow that action to be at its best. So not only does that bait being free allow you to get maximum action out of your bait, but it has that bait separated from that weight. This is going to allow you to have a better hookup ratio. The reason being is you have nothing getting in the way of that fish eating that bait. You have your weight on the bottom and you have your soft plastic essentially hanging above. Now, all the action that's coming from that bait is what's gonna trigger that strike from that fish. So when you have your bait sitting like this in the water, when that fish goes to eat, they're eating all bait and all hook. They're not eating a bullet weight with it. Oftentimes when you guys fish a Texas rig, when you're fishing like a big bullet weight, if that fish inhales that bait, when you go to set that hook, sometimes that sinker smashes that fish's mouth, causing their mouth to open more and lose that hook. You know, you kind of have a bullet weight making its exit before, you know, the tip of your hooks. There's a lot of benefits that come with this bait. You can fish it in so many different scenarios. And what's really cool about it is the fact that you can change out that weight at any given time. You know, you're saving a ton of time. When you're fishing a Texas rig, A lot of times, you know, if I want to switch from a 5/16 ounce to a 1/2 ounce, I got to cut my line, grab another bullet weight out, put it on, tie up again, go put the other stuff back in the terminal. You can just do it right on the fly with this thing. All you got to do is take those pliers, bend that wire straight out, pull that weight off. Sometimes you got to grip it a little bit with your pliers, but that weight pulls right off. Grab your next one, take it, slide it right on there, bend it back, and you guys are ready to rock. That's it. That's all there is to it. So you guys can swap out your weights whenever you need. You don't have to retie. So, you know, that's another thing to think about when fishing a Tokyo rig is, you know, don't over loop that wire. Try to keep it in good shape because it's going to allow you to be very versatile. The setup that you're going to want to fish with a Tokyo rig is going to be personal preference. You got to base it off what you're fishing and where you're fishing. You guys can get Tokyo rigs, like I was saying, in many different hooks and many different sizes. So they're very versatile. Just pick out what suits you the best. If you guys are into flipping and pitching, grab the one that's going to work the best for you. If you guys are looking to punch weed mats with one of these, you can. Go get a 1 ounce sinker or a 1/2 ounce, whatever you like to use. Put it on here, you're gonna be good to go. But in that scenario, you're gonna wanna use a heavier rod setup. So pair the rod setup that you're fishing with to the scenario that you're fishing and you guys will be good to go. So there's a quick run through on the Tokyo rig. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Have you fished one of these before? Have you never even seen it? You know, is it cool? Is it weird? I think this is one of the sickest rigs on the market, but I just want to know what you guys think in the comment section. So other than that, if you guys are new here, do me a favor, consider hitting that subscribe button. We have a ton of fishing content here on the channel. If you guys are looking to pick up a Tokyo rig, I'll make sure we leave one linked down below for you. We actually sell them here on Carl's Bait and Tackle. So if you're looking to pick up this one right here, it'll be linked down below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.